Today we are having a mentor with us. And by continuing this privilege, I would like to introduce today our chief guest, Honorable Dr. T.P. Shashikumar. He is MSc, PhD, MS, MBA, LLB, MPhil. A space scientist for 20 years. He has also served at ISRO as chief, a mathematician, sensing and image processing educationalist, director of spirit meditation. He is also the chairman and CEO of Shiksha Janana World Social Craft Foundation, a Bhagavad Gita Acharya, the advisor of World Yoga Community at United Nations and Associates, Chief Research Officer, Management Team Member at IDYF, President of Research Council ISRO, Honorary Doctorate in Peace from Egyptian Ambassador CAT 2021. He has researched for 1 students and youth and equal number of. He is a former director of Cabinet Secretariat Department of Government of India, New Delhi. He had served as at Ahmedabad, Bangalore. Mathematics and management professor. He was an excellent mathematics and management professor. Late he was in USA student, Vedic scholar. He is a student of astronaut and Vastu special, and so on. This is my extreme privilege to have him today as our last guest here. After a very schedule, I'm very grateful to you. You had you spare some time us after having a very busy schedule. You are being here today at time with us. Really very thanking you, sir, for this. With this, I also would to add some of our. There are some audience here. I have admitted some. Okay. So this is my debut. Stop saying experience sharing National Foundation would like to welcome you on behalf of team and the platform all yourself. So, I'd like to start with your introduction. I would like to present your life by yourself. I would also like to request that can you please mute yourself. Unmute yourself.
क्या?
Please mute yourself. There is an option of mic. Okay. So now I just would like to listen Dr. T.P. Shashikumar ji. Please, sir, tell us something about.
Namaskaram, Aishwary Pratap Singh. I know that you have studied about me and you also have made a beautiful introduction. Thank you for that. I have been looking at what you are doing. You are getting associated, interviewing a lot of people, spreading the message of knowledge and love. I think 2021 was a great year for many people who are very active on online. And I found you are one among them who enjoyed the COVID problems because
Definitely. So, if I would like to ask, many of time you had worked as chief in many of departments. So, what is your experience in terms of management, better management? Uh, sir, are you getting?
What did you ask?
I'm asking like many of times आपने काम किया है कई डिपार्टमेंट्स में as chief or head. So what is your experience in terms of better management? What is your definition of better management?
See, the word management is a very, very low terminology to be used. I think your mic is echoing. Yeah. The management is a very bad terminology. If I don't know cooking, what do? I manage cooking. If I have to, there are 5 vehicles, but 6 applications. At 6 places I have to go, or 6 people want to go. So what do? You add one person with one of them and say manage, somehow drop him and then go. So management is a very confused, lack of facility. How do you make things happen? You asked me a question and I don't know how to answer. What do? I managed my show by answering something. So management is a very bad quality. I don't manage, I do things. So generally people say I am in the higher management. But IAS, Indian Administrative Service, they are not managing. What do? They administer. The another bigger terminology is called administration. Assume we don't use the word managing medicine. We use the word administering medicine. What does it mean? You have 5 drops of medicine to be given. In a bottle, you have 15 drops. So 3 people can be given. 5 drops, 5 drops, 5 drops. 15. 3 people can get drops. But assume by mistake, by giving drops, one of the drop has fallen down. Do you manage by giving, instead of 5 drops, will you give 4 drops and say manage it? No. You have to open another bottle and then give 5 because the dose is 5. So what is administration? Administration is providing everything what you can, and it is higher than management. So Dr. TPS would have been posted in different place and the terminology is manage. Even I was head of the department of a management, academically we call it as management, MBA. But if you expand MBA, business management, is it called business management? Yeah, then it is not management. Because actually you have to business administration. So that is why it is called a MBA. Administration. The word is called administration. Master of Business Administration. That is MBA. Actually there is no word called management. But still we call MBA people as management teachers, management students, department of management. That is because olden days facilities were less. But in today's world we are high facility, lot of opportunity, lot of things are around us. We don't have to manage. So what we do is create lot of facility and make people feel happy about it. I think work will come. So giving good opportunity. How do you make people to perform? Good opportunity. Second one, good attitude. Oh, I want to work. That feeling should be given. So give good opportunity, give good feeling, and then give that required skill. I want to come on to this video conference. So what should I do? I must be good in technically and I must be good in my knowledge. So that is the skill. So create a skill, create opportunity, create the attitude. If three things are given, administration becomes very simple. So it is not management, it is higher than management, which can be called as administration. That's where I am involved.
That's really amazing. Totally appreciate the answer. Really amazing, because I am totally confused. When everything like other degrees, I would say that MS for master's surgery, PhD, but when we are talking about MBA, so that's definitely I'm confused in that term, and that's what you automatically sorted out that confusion. With this, I would like to ask you, tell us something about your childhood. What kind of student are you? Are you a serious student, or are you like?
I am from a small village. I am from a remote village where development did not come when I was a young boy. I am from Kerala, the northern part of Kerala, where I belongs to a family who were landlords. So we had very large acres of land. But unless we work, we cannot create food. Money was not there. Business is not there. We have large land. So we have a lot of resources, but probably not that useful. Unless people make things, it doesn't happen. The temple is built by my grandfather. School is built by my grandfather. In my childhood, I have seen a small hospital, and the doctors who come from different district, they stay in my brother's house, because there are no lodges, no hotels, no such things are not there. So we are from a very remote village. When I was studying for masters, only electricity came. When I was doing my PhD in Bangalore, telephone came. And therefore, we have not been as lavish as people think today. I have seen a electricity switch box. Putting on a switch for a light or a fan, I did when I was in 7th class. Going to 40 kilometers away from my village. First time I attended a telephone when I went outside to my brother's place, where that was my childhood. So no television, no TV. The TV I saw when I was in MSc. First time television was seen when Indira Gandhi got assassinated. That was the time when I seen the television first time. Got it? So you can imagine that's the situation. Therefore, you don't know the world. Therefore, you don't have big dreams. Examination is not a very serious thing. If you don't attend exam, probably you will fail. But if you fail, also not a big problem. Because in my classes, there were people when I was in 8th class, 7th class and all, I had students who failed 4 years. So up to 8 years, you fail 4 years. That means every year you fail once, twice. Failure in schools was a very common thing. Today, failure is a big thing. Right? When I was a good student, brilliant, maybe my brothers, I lost my father when I was 4 years old. So I was one of the most loved children in my whole village, because our tradition was good. So when I was in 7th class, I was posted in a very good school. That was in a city, very little far from the 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers today maybe half an hour drive. But those days it is 2 hours drive, because roads are not good. I am from a hilly terrain, mountainous area. So it takes long time. The bus starts at 8 o'clock, 9:30 I will be in my school. So 1.5 hour morning. I enjoyed my travel because that's the first time I got into a bus. I never used to be very regular in the classrooms. I used to be out enjoying my time. So what happened after my 7th class was over? Headmaster gave me a transfer certificate and said, get out from this school. I was 27th rank all throughout in 7th class in every examination. I was one of the worst students in that school. But then I came back to my own village school. I became ashamed of my situation. I went to a higher school and then thrown back. So I did not have friends with me. So I was alone. But then still I didn't have much interest in studies and all that. Plus 1, plus 2 was called pre-degree those days. Pre-degree. Before degree, a pre-program. That was also done by universities. Not like today in school program. That also I did not do well. First year I failed in every examination. Second year, that means 11th class, I failed in all exams. 12th class, somehow I got a pass mark. But then my brother was a professor of zoology. He said, you cannot study mathematics. You can study either language, Malayalam, that was my mother tongue. That is the only thing which is you are fit for. No science, higher studies and all not for you. I will give you an admission for in, that is called third group, arts subject. But I said no. Because he told me I cannot study mathematics, I told him I am going to study mathematics. And that only made me to become very, very stubborn, a very good student, very serious. Then I became a very good student for BSc. I got maybe very good marks. MSc I became second rank. MPhil I got first rank. MPhil and PhD I finished in 3 years in mathematics. And I got a job in space department. So my childhood was not very, very, thrilling. No, it was thrilling, but not very fancy. Maybe I did not realize what is trouble in life because I enjoyed the trouble also. But in today's standard, if you look at it, my childhood was very bad student, very poor student, not brilliant, not recognized by many people. But that was not a big problem for me because I did not compare with somebody else. Right? I enjoyed my childhood. With all the mistakes what I can do in my life, I finished my childhood itself.
That's really good, and that's something which we are away from, because nowadays, as you had mentioned previously in your sentence, that really nowadays education is something like a boom over a child, and we are totally stuck in it. So, what is your strategy for education? Because you have researched over education and millions of students. So, what is according to your that research? What tell us something about strategies of education, of learning? And one more question that I have is, as we students, we are having a lot of complications in terms when we listen board examination. So that is something which troubled all of us. Whether the student from Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari, we all are absolutely, we just like board examinations is something which is a troubled situation for all of us. So tell us some strategies for overcoming these sort of problems.
See, I don't have to define what is education because there are great people in this country in Eastern philosophy, Bharatiya Shastram. Like Vivekananda, I adore him so much. He says education is man making. If only human being, people like us, have the ability to learn, only you can talk to me from sitting in a far off place, we can get connected today because we are human beings. Animals, they only see, only hear, very close by surroundings, their parents, their own mothers, siblings. Along with them, they can live and learn. As human being, anybody's experience we can document. From anywhere to anywhere, we can share knowledge. Right? So, we human being can learn. What is the difference between learning of a human being and learning of an animal? Animal not only learn, they understand. Why do they learn? Because they want to practice it. What do human beings learn? We learn so much which can never be practiced. That is one of the fault of our education system. Just because we have a capacity to learn many things, we did not use it for applications in our life. So most of our knowledge did not transform into what is called skill development. Therefore, today what people speak in education, education has to be skill development. Actually, it is not today's requirement. Altogether, all the time, education needs to be skill development. But we have forgotten that. That is one of the drawbacks. We know physics, but if somebody asks question, we can answer it. But we did not understood the basics of physics. We did not understand why is it happening. Nobody is going to ask that question. Given a question, you must answer it. So examination has become not testing the understanding, but testing the brain. How much you can capture, how much you can copy. And if somebody has a ability to by heart, we use the word by heart, right? But I keep saying, everybody keeps saying, don't by heart, don't by heart. I keep saying, learn by heart. Don't learn by heart. Don't mug up things. Don't put it in the brain and then put it down. I keep asking a lot of students, soon after examination, if I give same question again, you will say, oh, I don't know, I forgot everything. But examination hall you can write. Why is it happening? Because once it is written, you keep cleaning your brain. Because you think whatever you are learning is for writing examination. Anyway, it is not useful after that. Correct? So our learning has become only for examination. That is one biggest fault we are doing. Therefore, I was teaching at the MBA, BBA. Last, I was a professor in KL University in Hyderabad as mathematics professor. So what do I teach them? I have a paper called Campus to Corporate. How do a people from the campus can get a job in corporate companies? So what I was teaching there? Logical reasoning, analytical skill, mathematical ability, reasoning ability, data analysis. All these are 7th class, 8th class, 9th class mathematics. Actually, high school, whatever you are studying, if you know that you are not doing mathematics, actually there is a mathematics inside the mathematics. Why are you studying? Why are you studying geography? Why are you studying history? What Akbar did? Why are you studying? Is it has any relevance today? We are not teaching that. Teachers are not teaching that. They will tell you this is important, you should get marks. For that you are studying. But actually, for every subject study, there is an objective and scope. Why are you studying? What is the objective of study? If you understand the objective, the learning becomes interesting. And if questions are put in such a style to test whether the student understood it perfectly well, the question will not be repeated every year. Every teacher will have an ability to make a difficult question. So today most of the questions are very simple because last 5 years, actually students need not study anything to get good marks. Last 5 years question paper, you look at it, learn every question answer, then you can get good marks. Not even in school studies. Even in highest MBBS or MBA or BTech, MTech, everywhere, old question paper repeated the same way. Actually, examination should not be like that. Examination become thrilling only when you are testing. Two words are used, testing and examination, which is very famous in school academics, college academics. It is also famous in medical system. Doctors will test you and then they will decide what disease you have. They do a urine examination. So examination and testing is a common word in education and as well as in medical science. In medical science, what doctors will do, they find some parameters are wrong. Then they will treat you well, make you perfect, do another test and say, oh, your disease is clear, you are fit, now you can go home. But in school what happens? Suppose you fail, your parameters are bad. Mathematics you got only 10%. Science only 20%. The teachers will scold you. Parents will scold you. Can you imagine if you are getting fever, doctors scold you, parents scold you, will your fever will go? Actually you need to get a treatment. So what is education system? Education system should be, testing should be done to find out what is wrong and then give a clear medicine, better learning, make you to understand, do a written test again, ask a lot of questions, do a diagnosis and find out you are good and then promote to grade 3 to grade 4, grade 4 to grade 5, grade 5 to grade 7. Like that, when you go, oh, you understood everything. Today, when you have a disease, you are transferring to some other doctor. From that, you are transferring to some other doctor. No doctor is treating you, and you get a very chronic, bigger disease with a lot of disease. So, our education system has become transferring problems but not solving problems. But I keep saying, examination hall is a big, very great place. You know why? Generally, when you sit in classroom, you have to sit beside. Only examination hall, you get a lot of place to sit. Like you are in a higher position. Prime Minister will not sit, three people will sit together in a single place, will not happen. Prime Minister always have a bigger seat. Similarly, you get a bigger power position when you are writing examination, because you are given a bigger seat. Correct? So examination, you are the VVIP. When teachers call you, you have to go. But in exam hall, you can call the teacher. You can tell, come here, and teacher will come beside you. And you can knock at the table and say, come. Then the teacher will come and ask you, like a chef in a hotel, what you want. Correct? So your teacher will become your subordinate. Your teacher will become your servant. And all the time, teachers will give you notes. You have to write, you have to read. Now, in exam hall, whatever I am writing, who has to read? Teachers have to read. So how are you writing exam? You read. I am going to write. If 10 questions are given, if teacher asks you only answer 5, what do I used to do? I write all the 10 and say, you read and decide which is good. So this is the right time to take revenge against teachers, I keep saying. So examination is like an enjoyment. I am sure everybody will pass. If you understood perfectly, the way in you write will be different from you learning something. So I always believe a student has to understand things and write in examination and make teachers to understand that I am a better student. If you learn and write, you will become an average student, you get a lot of marks. Such people, they will pass exam, they will get good marks, but they will not become real researchers, real curious people, creative people. You need to be a creative person in writing examination, studying, doing things, and that is what is essential. So that attitude setting and thrilling experience have to be given to students. And I make it to all my children. I will keep saying, don't worry. Exam is not a big problem. Understanding is a big problem. So that is what is essential. Correct?
That's really amazing. And before I continue my questions, I would like to ask Lakshya has joined us today. So Lakshya, आपके जो भी questions थे, you can ask to sir. Actually, he is having some of the questions from space science. He is very interested in space and all. So I just asked him that whatever your question is, you can ask to him and he will answer. So Lakshya, now you can ask your every question. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. Nice to meet you. And my question is, what is black hole?
Yeah, I don't know what Lakshya does, and two things. I don't like the word hello. I don't like the word sir. Right? Hello is Alexander Graham Bell's girlfriend's name. So you need not address me as hello. And sir is a title given by Britishers. Actually, I don't have that sir title from Britisher. Okay. What is a black hole is a very common question. Many people think that if you are a student of science, you have some interest, you should always think about a black hole. Let me ask one question. How is it matter to you what black hole is? Is it going to affect any of our knowledge? That is a common question which I have. But still asking that question, I must give an answer. Correct? See, we have a visibility even with a telescope. When you see something, we can see a light. Where light is not getting reflected, irradiation doesn't happen. Radiation doesn't happen. Reflection doesn't happen in some places, and therefore that place is seen as black. What is black? Absence of light is black. So when you look at the space, generally space is black. But there are some places where there is a light around it and the center there is a black. And that is what is called as black hole. And what is black hole? It can be a planet. It can be a very specific material reflected from another place. It can be a dust particle which is not radiating. No irradiation comes. It absorbs a lot of light, and therefore around that you can see light, there is no light. So it is not a very static place where it is keeping, because the universe itself is not static. It keeps on moving. Therefore shape also moves. The look also can change. Assume that you are looking a cylinder from straight on top, it looks like a circle. But if you are looking from a different angle, it looks like a ellipsoid sort of a thing. So similarly, the black hole also have a different shape, different texture, different style. The color also need not be same. Assume the distance is same, the disturbance is same. It looks like whitish, bluish, and if the distance is too far, it looks like reddish. So you have different colors in which you have a black color within that, and that is what is called a black hole. So it is a big study which can be done in the space, how light and no light situation is visible for people. So there are lot of fantastic things people like to picture it, look at it, show it. So it's a beautiful thing. Like a sunset is very beautiful for photographers. Black hole is a beautiful thing for all the astronomy or space and higher space people who do research and look at such places. What is inside this black hole? That can be any material which is slightly different from the neighboring places. So people say that it has got high gravity. If something goes inside, it can get absorbed, because material is different. If it can absorb all the light energy and nothing is reflected, it can also absorb different things. So that's a basic hypothesis people come to. Nobody has seen, nobody has have totally understood it. So it's like a hypothesis. It's like a science myth which we can create talking about all the black holes today. The knowledge itself is a black hole, I keep saying. The knowledge about black hole itself is a black hole, because we did not understood it totally. I think Lakshya must be happy.
Lakshya, I feel that you felt absolutely satisfied with the answer. So if you have any other question, then you can raise it.
Thank you for answering. And my second one question is, what is a black drop star?
Black. Are you asking for black rock star?
Black drop star. DWARF. Drop.
Okay, so he will definitely answer.
See, okay. See, I think most of the people have a wrong concept. Dr. TPS is a space scientist. Correct? But space scientists do not know anything about space. I answered the question about the black hole because of my general knowledge. As a space scientist, we don't know anything about space. That department who knows about space is called astronomy department. What do space department do? We keep satellite on the top and look to the ground. So what space scientist as an I know about Earth more than space. You understood what I'm saying? So actually the knowledge about space and astrophysics is not my knowledge, but I have got lot of interest in the general knowledge. Therefore I know all these subjects. Lakshya was asking about dwarf, DWARF, correct? So the dwarf star, star itself means a light source. And when dwarf means what? Dwarf means the size is very small. We have got avatar, 10 avatars. Vamana avatar is a dwarf. That means size is very small. So what is dwarf star? It is a star which is very small. So what will happen? When it comes close to earth, close to sun solar system, it will become visible. When it is very far, it will not become visible. Or like stars, generally we say twinkle twinkle little star. It gives you a beautiful light source which is very far, but it is very visible. What will happen to dwarf star? It will not be, if it is very small, too far, it will not be visible. So sometime it will not be visible, sometime it will be visible. So there are astronomy people who categorized star based on the size, based on its luminance. Luminance is the light intensity is very less. It's like a zero bulb, a bright 200 watt bulb and a zero bulb. If normal star is 200 watt bulb, your dwarf star is a 0 watt bulb. Only light is there. No, it is seen. Light is there. Bulb is there. But voltage is too less. That sort of a star is called a dwarf size. And size is also small. Luminance is small. When it is very far, it will not be visible. Got it?
In very short time, you explained it very well. Even I just never heard this term. And now I have a proper knowledge about this term. So thank you very much for in a short period of time you had explained very well. That's really, this is our privilege to have you today. This is our extreme privilege. I would say that it is our privilege to have you with us today. My last thing is that if you have any, scientific question, like as Dr. Shashi Kumar has mentioned, if you have any practical question or any formal question, then you can mention it. Otherwise, the question you are asking, they are Google based. So you may also get them from Google. But if you are having any very curious question that is practically could be happen, so you can ask that only, right? Do you have any such kind of question?
No, I am very happy with the Laksha's question. Or the question on star and question on planet. I am very happy. But I only wanted to tell, don't ask this to every space scientist. Correct? Because the knowledge about space need not be as you think. It's like going to a vegetarian restaurant asking for chicken biryani. Correct? But don't worry. Dr. TPS is with a lot of students. I have seen more than million students, million teachers, million parents in this country. I keep saying TPS is my name. Teachers, parents, students. TPS.
Oh my God.
Okay. So I like questions. Any question, I love them. When you have questions, I love you. And any subject you can ask me, not only in this interview. You can take my telephone number 9447437948 or search on internet Dr. TPS. Don't forget my name. Teachers, parents, students. Top police service, because I was also into police. I was a scientist, so look at the temperature, pressure second. You can ask me any question on any subject at any level, not necessarily in LKG level to go to up to PhD level. You ask me subject and questions on anything in this world. I love to learn. So always I look for asking some questions which I don't know. And if I don't know some questions, I love to get such questions.
So I can say with an excellent teacher or professor or mentor, you are also a student.
I am a learner. When I don't get say today morning, one of my cousin who is almost 70 years old, maybe 20 years elder than me, or maybe 18 to 20 years elder than me, she was a very, very senior person. She asked me a question. And so many people will ask me questions on WhatsApp. And I know the answer, but still I know there can be many more answers. So I keep learning. So today morning I have spent 1 hour on her question, but most of the things I was looking for, is there any better answer for this? So I answered them. So when I get questions, I read a lot. When I get some question, I looked at it very carefully. It is not that I don't know dwarf, but still I want to explain it in a different style, which will not be available in Google. I am sure the way I explained, people may not explain. So when I explain in this style, and when I talk to Indians, I will say we have Vamana avatar, which is a short avatar, and dwarf is that word have to be inside you, so that I induce that word inside you, so that you will never forget that word dwarf. Otherwise, people will forget. So my ability is the answer comes from my heart, from my manas, and to reach into your manas. So I am a good teacher. I love to be a good teacher than anybody else. And therefore, I improve my way of teaching. I improve my way of looking at things. I interpret it in different style based on. That's why I wrote a book on education. This is a book on education, adaptive learning. Adaptive learning and teaching. You can download from internet, freely available. It says how do you get adapted to your students? How do you explain things in the way the students will understand care? So there are ways of teaching. I'm a good teacher and I teach a lot of teachers. I was director for academic staff college under the University Grants Commission for 2 years, almost 15 years back. What did I do? I make teachers to understand how do they make their knowledge available to the children so that they get knowledgeable. It is not learning brain to brain. It is from feeling to feeling. So I love questions, all questions. Any question from anywhere, I love it. Yeah. Aishwary Pratap Singh has become so busy.
Another question is that that is one of the most common question in our generation particularly. So I am just raising very common question, and the question is, children in nowadays having so many of coachings and tuition started from 8th or 9th standard to the 12th for NEET and JEE, to clear NEET and JEE examination. So there are so many people, there are no many audience here to raise this question. But when I am in the conversation with so many of the students, I just something that I have understand it. Then this is only this: how can we clear NEET or JEE examination? So this is the last question from the audience side for you. What is any strategy according to you to clear NEET or JEE examination?
I don't know whether the audience, including Aishwarya, has seen the movie called Cheat India. That's a beautiful movie which came last year. Don't miss that movie. Number one, that will tell you how to pass, because it's actually cheating. Okay. Number two, there is, I think, a Netflix series which came, which is called the Kota Factory. Kota is the place in Rajasthan where so many people are going for coaching. In India, that is supposed to be the Kota Factory. I am from Kerala. So generally, what do people do? 11th and 12th is passed, immediately they join for another repeat batch. They are called repeat batch. They study the whole grade 11th and 12th class, whatever they studied as questions they will do. Do you know they have teachers who prepare for NEET and examination like this? They have not chemistry teachers. They have chapter 1 chemistry teacher, chapter 2 chemistry teacher, chapter 3 chemistry teacher. Every chapter wise they have teachers. And what do? They finish that chapter there. They will prepare a lot of questions and then make them to keep on repeating answers and prepare them for the examination. That is because all of our competitive examination has become a big problem for most of the brilliant children. It has become those who are rich, those who can get trained in this can get into the best institution. India's best institutions are IITs, all the examination, entrance examination, all the government best institutions, they conduct a lot of competitive exams. And no private institution in India can compete with them. But preparing to get into that government institutions, there are a lot of private companies. I don't call them as education institution, private companies who will make these children to compete with a lot of other people who are not as rich as them. So education has become a big business. This is the problem. And are we getting in the highest education system the brilliant children from India? No, I don't think. The brilliant children need not get admission. So it is not a test for brilliance. It is a test for how to memorize. Old questions, answer are given, people make to understand, and then do this examination business. Why IIT professors are also thinking, how can we really capture those people who don't memorize, who have got real creativity, research, understanding? How do we check them? Whatever new methodology they keep for making a good question paper, next year again that will be copied by these copycat training people and then train them in that. So it's the mouse and cat sort of a thing. They create a beautiful new model for selecting children. The other fellow will capture it and then make people to prepare and then compete for that. Okay. So it is the fastness in which you can solve problem, how much memory can be used, that has become a normal entrance examination, not even for admissions in the best institutions like IIT, IASC, JEE, all that. It is also true for Indian Civil Service, IAS and all that. The memory is being tested. Therefore, probably if you look at admissions which happens in abroad, admissions in great universities in America, they will ask you one paper which is called, what is that paper called? SOP, Statement of Purpose. What you want to study, why do you want to study this? And they will also interview you. And when interview happens, you will have to answer it in a very specific style. The ability to analyze it, all that need to be done if you are looking for admissions. But we cannot do it in India because the number of people who are applying for that is big, large number. And that is a big process for selecting the best students. So mark is one criteria. You can imagine, even if you get best marks in 10th, 11th, 12th, but you don't get admission based on the marks. So examination in schools has become irrelevant. Correct? So therefore corporate schools, corporate training centers, coaching centers, they don't teach 11th and 12th. They teach only for entrance exam. And the examination for 11th and 12th in state government will become normal examination. So, say in Andhra, I am from Hyderabad now. Andhra, we have two set of institutions. What is called Chaitanya and another one is called Narayana. Chaitanya and Narayana. They were competing each other. So Chaitanya sometime was very good for preparing for medical examination. Narayana was very good for engineering admissions. But they become together now. So last year I was telling, when COVID became a very small disease which is spread, when it started, I was telling in Hyderabad city, this China disease, because there was a rumor saying that it came from China. I was telling in COVID, now people have been distanced, social distance, don't talk to anybody. You have to be inside your house and study thoroughly. And this China problem was there in Hyderabad almost 10 years back. That is called Chaitanya Narayana problem. Because both Chaitanya entrance and Narayana entrance is what is holding them. 11th and 12th, once you become 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th for 5 years, don't do anything, just prepare. You know, in Hyderabad and all, there are centers from 7th class, they prepare for BTech admission. They are not worried about all the other subjects. how to get for BTech in IIT. So this has become a big disease. So Hyderabad had this China disease long back, Chaitanya Narayana disease. So I keep calling them all the JEE, all such examinations are all like Chaitanya Narayana disease, China disease. Okay. I am not a person who will recommend people, only if you get IIT, you become the brightest. And I don't think IIT is the end of the world. Even any normal college, normal place in this world is very good. But internet gives you a lot of opportunities to learn. And any subject you want to learn, there are a lot of teachers who can clarify the doubts. You should have a great ambition in life and look at great things. Don't imagine Srinivasa Ramanujam became a great mathematician because he studied in IIT or IASC. I don't think the great inventors in this country were outputs from IITs or IASCs. We have seen a lot of people who passed IIT but they become useless in the society. Because what they should do is they should get to know what is the society, what they want. You know, most of the people who pass IIT, there is a beautiful TV program which is produced by, I think, American television or British television. They print what India imports to America. What India imports to America. Or what India exports to America from India. Because they produced in America, they wrote what India imports to America. If we are talking from India, we should ask what India exports to America. I keep saying most of the IITians, generally BTech people from most of the institutions, they are all Gandhians. You know why? What is Gandhi? Mahatma Gandhi. Once he told, Mahatma Gandhi is the person who spoke, quit India. So what do? People who pass IIT, they quit India and go to abroad. So what is IIT BTechs? Quit India. Correct. So do you want to prepare people to quit India or to live in India? So we don't want. Actually, that's a big bogus program which is happening. Academics and education system has become a factory. So don't miss quota factory. Don't miss Cheat India. Don't miss that interview which happened. But one way they are supporting because they are the CEOs of big companies. IIT has got a big alumni. They think that they are the brightest, so they rule the country. They get big salary. Got it? But I don't think they have changed the world by investing that much money. They did not contribute a lot to India's development. That is one of the biggest problem. Otherwise, IIT alumni, IASC alumni would have become, many people have become judges, many people have become IAS. We should be proud that we have such an institute who created India has become the greatest nation because of those people. I don't think they have not done anything much. Most of the people who are controlling in politics, they are not the people who work into great economics development in this country is not from such people.
But I have seen many of times that the person who had completed his degree of IIT, after completing that degree, he is working in any personally. I am talking about my experience. That he has completed IIT from IIT Roorkee. Then now, from last 2 years, he is working in JP Morgan company, and he is thinking to go abroad and for his further studies, and then he might settle over there. So what the things, and this is why he is doing this, because he is saying that most of his colleagues or his the children, those who educated with him in IIT, they all have the same planning that we all have to go to America, or there are some countries, some common countries that we used to listen all the time, and after some of them had already gone, and some of those who are left over here, they are planned to go there. So of course, this is really what we are exporting to America. We are developing a sense of the strategies, a sense of we are developing an idea for better India. But after that, we export that idea to America for their betterment, for their, as you can understand. With this, I I have just few questions. I will not take your more time. Uh, One thing is that, is there anybody who has inspired you, like your like person who inspired you, or you are taking anybody as your inspiration?
Actually, a single word. When people go abroad and then do a lot of things, it is not a bad thing. Even for my PhD and after PhD, I had an option to go to Canada. But I did not opt that because I want to live in this country. But when I visited abroad, I found that there is nothing wrong in going to abroad and then living there, because the standard of life is different and the sincerity of people who are learning is good. You have a freedom there. Here it is all polluted and then politically polluted, environmentally polluted. Everything is bribing. The value for your knowledge is not acknowledged. Therefore, people feel it is a better place to live. But we have a responsibility to change this world. And that is the motivation which I got from reading from Aurobindo, reading from Mahatma Gandhi, reading from great people like Swami Vivekananda. So I am a person who was a great reader at some point of time. Today I don't read that much. But all that reading has helped me to make my own concept. And who inspired, I cannot say one single person. Because when I read about physics, Albert Einstein was a great man. C.V. Raman was a great man. When I read about mathematics, I know many mathematicians who influenced me. There were a lot of books which my brother used to give it to me, which are all great scientists in mathematics, great scientists. I read most of their life practices. So, starting from maybe the greatest Aryabhata to Srinivasa Ramanujam, in between lot of Western mathematicians. All of them were my role models. So that's how I got love towards mathematics. So similarly, the writers from my mother tongue, all the poets. The other day I was talking to my plus one, plus two time, a teacher who taught me Malayalam poetry. I was remembering and telling him, when you used to come to the class and then chant slokas, I used to by heart them so that I can tell, oh, last week you taught this and this is where you have to start the next stanza. I used to by heart and sit in the classroom. Same way I used to by heart all that I translated Macbeth when I was a student in 11th, 12th. So I like to learn subjects. Therefore, when a mathematics teacher comes, he was my role model. When a chemistry teacher comes, he was my role model. When a language teacher comes, he was my role model. And Indian great heroes were my role model. I loved almost all of them. I think a agglomeration, a collection, a mix, or a jam which is created out of all these great role models, I created my own model, and that is what I followed. When I look at everyone, I think, oh, this is great, I love that. That's why my learning different subjects also become interesting. So I love historians, I love geography people, I love all that great kings who ruled this country. It doesn't matter whether it is a Mughal or a Hindu king. All of them have done a great thing, no? So I keep saying, oh, if I was a great person, I would have made Taj Mahal. But how can I make Taj Mahal? Because Mumta is not with me. Okay, assume that I got a beautiful Mumta for my married life. Then I will think, how can I build Taj Mahal if Mumta is not dying? Correct? So you keep thinking, putting you yourself into that role and start imagining. So when I read a drama, when I read Bhagavad Gita, I think I am the Krishna. When Arjuna is asking question, I will think I am the Arjuna. Right? So I make a lot of roles. I love drama, I love dance, I love music, I love films. And I keep myself putting into their shoes and then start thinking about them. That's what I do. So when I read Shakespeare's, I will become Shakespeare. When I read Wordsworth poetry, I become the poet Wordsworth. So I was also, a fascinated reader. Otherwise, I cannot write a lot of books on poetries like this, right? This is my poetry book. So how do I write poems? Only when you're fascinated about a poem, you become a poet. And most of my writings are LIFE. So what is passionating to me, not to people. I am passionate about LIFE. What is life? Live in full enjoyment. What is life? Learn in full enjoyment. What is life? Learning is an investment for future earning. So I keep saying, you learn and then start earning. Now, Pratap Singh is telling that no, I don't waste a lot of your time. Don't take. I am ready to spend as much time as you want, because I am not selling my time for money. For last 12 years, all my lectures, all my discussions are free of cost. I did not charge any one of them. I don't charge any of my lectures. But before that, when I wanted money, I used to make 1 hour 1 lakh rupees also. For 1 hour lecture, I got 3 lakhs rupees also. Right? I stayed in the best hotel in this world, probably. They give me the best accommodation. I was one of the most paid public speaker. But then I thought it's all not required. Because what do I do with money? I want somebody like Aishwary Pratap Singh as my son, my student, who wanted to talk to me at least for some time. That's a bigger recognition than maybe 1 lakh rupees what I get. Right.
Thank you. This really means a lot. What you had said, and this how Gita inspires you. Like for so many of times, even my father has told me that Gita is the center of knowledge. Gita itself contains whole world. But after this, I could not even able to understand how. So if I got the answer from you, so this is my extreme privilege. How Gita inspires you, and how Gita can inspire me, and anybody else.
See, I will give you an entirely different answer which no religious people, no spiritual people will give you. Right? Which we will remember forever as a message, and that has to go to most of the people in this world. I will tell you, Gita is not a great book. I don't think anybody will tell after teaching Bhagavad Gita under United Nations NGO. I just finished teaching Bhagavad Gita level 1 course last week. I taught in America Bhagavad Gita, and every sloka by sloka I interpreted. That's available on my YouTube. By chapter wise brief teaching is also done. Lot of tidbits from Bhagavad Gita, taking slokas and messages also I gave. But today I am telling you a different reason why Bhagavad Gita is great. I keep saying Bhagavad Gita is not at all an important book. There is another book which is called Uttara Gita. After Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is a big book. This is Chinmaya Swami's book. Right? This is Uttara Gita. Very small, you can see. There are only very few slokas in which one of the question what Arjuna asked is, just at the time of war, you gave me a lot of knowledge, which is supposed to be the essence of Upanishads. Upanishads are questions discussed between the master and the student after learning Vedas. So it is essence of Veda, which guide like a question answer preparation for examination is Upanishads, and that condensed in a tablet form is what is Gita, which Arjuna did not understood anything, because just before examination, if you start teaching somebody, they don't understand. At the time of war, if lecture is given, what Arjuna will understand? So he did not understood anything. So after the war, again he asked me, can you tell me Bhagavad Gita? I want to listen to that again. You know what Krishna said? Don't waste your time. It is not required now. Finished. So Bhagavad Gita is only when you have a real problem, how to face it. When Arjuna was in Arjuna Vishada Yogam, oh, I don't know what to do. Should I fight or not to fight? What will happen if I fight? They're all my relatives. If I fight, they will die. What will happen to their wives? Lot of soldiers will die. They're all gentlemen. Their wives did not do any mistake. They will all become husbandless. What will happen to the society? So many questions are asked. If such questions are not asked, Arjuna was not in confusion, conflict, vishadam. Shocham, the word used is shocham, dukkham, sadness. What Krishna said, Ashochyananya shochastvam, don't be sad. The first sloka is not Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, first sloka. Actually, Bhagavad Gita is what Bhagavan sings, is called Bhagavad Gita. So, actual Bhagavad Gita starts in 2nd chapter, 11th sloka. And there says, Ashochya. So, how is Bhagavan starting? Don't be sad. So, Bhagavad Gita starts with a sloka called Don't be sad. And where is it ending? 18th chapter, 66th sloka. What does it say? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami ma shucha. So what is the last word in Bhagavad Gita? Don't be sad. What is the first word in Bhagavad Gita? Don't be sad. So what is Bhagavad Gita saying? Don't be sad. So what is Bhagavad Gita? Don't be sad. So if somebody is sad, Bhagavan says don't be sad. Who is sad? Arjuna. Why Arjuna is sad? Because he had lot of questions. Who is having questions? Students should have questions. And what master will tell? Don't be sad. I am here with you. I will support you.
Definitely.
So what is Bhagavad Gita? A student with a lot of questions going to a master. Master says, all your questions I can answer. Don't be sad. That is Bhagavad Gita. So is it not required for every time in the world for everybody? So Bhagavad Gita is not because of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is because of Arjuna. So who is the hero in Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna is the hero. In a classroom, who is the hero? Student is the hero, not the master. If Aishwary Chauhan Pratap Singh did not ask me questions, can I give an answer?
No, not at all.
If you are not in front of me, can I do something in my life?
No, definitely you can't.
So the master is useless if there is no student.
Yes.
So what am Dr. TPS hunting for? Dr. TPS is hunting for good students.
Definitely.
If there is a good Arjuna, Krishna will come. That is what Krishna says. Whenever there is a requirement, I will come. That's what he said. Whenever there is a requirement, I will come. So requirement should come first. That's Bhagavad Gita.
This is really very amazing. As we all know, this is the last day of 2021. And we are connected here. So what is your message to the people around the globe? Because our audience is just not from India, from so many, also from so many of the foreign countries. So what is your message?
Yeah, my message is same. My message is same what I just stopped in Bhagavad Gita. 2021 we have big problems. Who doesn't have problem? When you don't have problems, every day there are problems. When there are problems, don't get worried. What is to be done? When there are problems, you must become stronger. If the river is very smooth, you can swim peacefully. If the river is very rough, you need more energy. So actually these are all testing your ability to test and do good things and great things in your life. I am sure you can do better and better. You can make your life much better when there are problems. So every problem is a challenge. It's a test. Like an examination after studies. So 2021 was a great study time. Everyone in this world realized. See, I got lot of trophies, lot of awards, lot of certificates. And I used to travel 300 days per every year. Different countries around the world. But everything is gone. What do I do with my trophy kept in my showcase? Who is there going to come and see? Because no visitors comes. Nobody will visit somebody's house, right? So what do you do with your great trophies in this world? It's all useless. Now you have a 3-bedroom, guest rooms are there. No guest comes to your house. So what is the purpose of all this? So you understand there is lot of things which we have to learn in this world. Nothing is important. What is more important is the connection, contact, love, care, share, knowledge, which you can spread. If that can be done, anything in this world is useless for you. So we need to understand the value of knowledge. We need to understand the value of time. We need to understand what is life. And if you can understand life, this is the right time to enjoy. Or every time is the right time to enjoy. It's all in your manas. As you think the world is good, today I posted my video on joy and peace. Joy and peace. That's my message for 2021. The moment that today, 31st December 2021, is a very great memorable day for me because Aishwary Chauhan Pratap Singh interviewed me and we had a dialogue, right?
Same,
And
same
next year, if the same telephone number with which you are contacting me on WhatsApp is available, definitely you will get a message saying last year this day you were with me. And I keep sending message to people who are all with me for last 10 years. Before that, I did not have contact number and all that. So I have got more than 1 lakh of contacts in this. I keep on reminding them. 10 years back, 2 years back, 3 years back, this day we were together.
Definitely.
Got it? So that memory makes us live and happy in this world. So keep always be happy, live, enjoy.
My last, I could say this as the last question. How Dr. T.P. Shashi Kumar has seen this pandemic? What are your views and your opinions about the pandemic that has passed and whatever is happening, plus the new variants that are developing? So I would like to understand your view and your opinion over the topic.
For last 10 years, I must have given lot of lectures, went around the world. But last 2 years, I have seen more number of people contacting me. I have reached out to large number of countries in the world than what I could do in 10 years. So I think COVID has given great opportunity if you are digitally active, technologically active, and if you have people around you. Earlier, I cannot be in Kuwait the same day, I cannot be in Bombay. So today morning I can be in Bombay, afternoon I can be in Kuwait. Next I can be, yesterday I was in Philippines. And morning I was in one place in Hyderabad. Day for yesterday I was, next week I am going to be in Nigeria. So every day different countries, different people are interacting. Is it not a great thing what you got out of COVID? And every time what happens is, when every creature like small microbes, microns, bacteria, virus, everything has got a small lifespan. It doesn't have a large lifespan. So when it develops into a peak, then comes down. In between there can be waves. Everything is electromagnetic waves. Life is also like that. So I think the third wave, by the time every people, either they got injected or not injected, there is a natural mechanism of immunity which comes in each one of us. And that immunity will show even second wave, third time you are hit me, yeah, it will not affect me that bad. So I think now the third wave impact on human being will become less. Impact on human being will become less. But because of the COVID, many people went. But I don't think COVID is the biggest problem in this world today. Poverty is the biggest problem. More than 10 times, 20 times in any of the country, if you look at it, more number of people are dying with poverty, no food, than died with COVID. But we don't talk about the poverty because rich people are not dying because of poverty. Whenever rich people, prestigious people, and such great people die with of some problem, we will talk about it in the news. If there is a air crash and 300 people die, that will become a big news. But every day in India, more than 300 people are dying with a lot of poverty, no food. Children by birth are also dying. We don't care them. Because when you fly and die, it becomes a news. If you die on the ground, it is not a news. So similarly, COVID is not a big problem in the world. More than COVID, you take the statistics and see, more than COVID, every day people with the poverty are dying. So is that a big problem or this is a big problem? So why do we talk about this makes business, that doesn't make business? You understand, in the whole world, 98% of the people are poor. 2% of the people are the richest of the richest. What COVID has given? Lot of pharmaceutical companies made a lot of money. So here real estate makes money, pharmaceutical company makes money, business people makes money, Amazon makes money, Baba makes money, everybody makes money. The difference between the poor and the rich became too bad. That is one of the concern which I had. The richest people had internet connection, they could connect to the world and talk to people. Like I was telling, I could connect to large number of people. But assume I am in a small village. In my village, if I would have been there, internet connectivity is very bad, electricity is not there, there is lot of flood, there is lot of problems. They are disconnected from the world. So I believe 90% of the people suffered because internet is not there, schools are not there. Now you see in Andhra, Hyderabad city, Telangana, 10th class, 11th class, 12th class exam did not happen. They are all passing 10th and 12th. They will all join graduation also. So it is not a bad thing, without examination people are passing. So education has gone down. Young people like age 3 to grade 3, LKG, UKG, nursery students, they don't have internet, they don't have online classes, they don't have LKG classroom, nursery classroom. They are all inside their houses. So they don't have societal contact. Their psychological, sociological impact is going to reflect when they grow. So there are a lot of lacunas which happened. I am concerned about it. I kept on discussing. I wanted to make a new education system to support them. All that trial I did. I spoke to a lot of people on this concern, shared it. All this has happened. So it has got good and bad. That's a balance. I pray, I wish everybody becomes connected to the other people and then getting contacted. Communication becomes better and world becomes much more peaceful and joyful. That's what I did.
Dr. Shashi Kumar, my one request is that I would like to listen your favorite shloka from yourself. Like I would request you to please speak one of your favorite shloka, so it will be very melodious for all of us. Your favorite one.
I don't think it is going to be melodious. I love everything because all my poetries I love. One of the poetry which I will tell from this poetry book, Life of Love. I opened Bhagavad Gita thinking that I will tell you, but then I thought I should use my own poetry, right? Why should I quote Bhagavad Gita, I thought. See, I keep telling in this Bhagavad Gita, the first poetry is called Race for Birth. It says, millions of sperm from the father get into the mother's egg. Millions of sperm from the father get into the mother's egg, and only one sperm take birth, and that's me. How many sperm did not take birth? Millions. Who are they? My unborn brothers and sisters. Instead of me, they would have taken birth. So I took birth because I ran faster. And I am the sperm who joined with the egg and I got birth. Is it not great to take a birth? By competing with a lot of my unborn brothers and sisters. So what Aishwarya and everybody who listens to that should do is lift your hands. Lift your hands, Aishwarya, and take it back and say, well done, well done, well done, well done. Every day morning, make yourself say, well done, I am great, I am great, I am great. Okay. So be proud of your birth. When you are proud of your birth and you think that I am writing examination, I am a big failure, think about this. Then you will feel, I fought with millions of unborn brothers and sisters, so I am the winner. So what you should say? The race for birth, who is the winner? I am the winner. Each one of us are winner. So there are many slokas I love so much. There is
Um,
one playlist in my YouTube which is called Subhashitam. Subhashitam is take small slokas from Sanskrit, explained the meaning. And there is another book which is written by me, Nitya Sloka. Every day, which are all the slokas which you have to chant. And I like to have lot of group of people who learn this and then practice in life. That's what I did. So I like lot of slokas.
that's really been very amazing. Few days, I could say few weeks before, you had posted something on a Facebook account. That's also a meeting which you are the speaker, and the thing that directly touched up my heart. That's a concept related to buses. Like if you there are so many buses, and you are standing on the bus stand, and the bus which is in front of you, if you get into it, then that's good, but don't feel bad because there are another hundreds of buses, because they are waiting for you. So the buses are like different opportunities that will lead you to a better future, and that's really amazing. Really,
Love you.
each and every concept. Really, I can't even have word for those. But really, what you have done in the field of education, there are so many people, those who already knows and those who didn't know. I would like to tell you, all of you, that Dr. Shashi Kumar has made a big change in education by making his own foundation, on which he has been serving as the chairperson and the CEO, and that's totally working for education. It is the education and betterment in education. His theories and philosophies over education makes a big amount, a big population to felt that really that's something which can be changed their future. The books he wrote, they are relates, they reflects with the life of the students, teachers, parents, and society to change, to upgrade our thinking. His collaboration in all the fields, as I previously told all of you, he is a master in versatility. So this is our today's extreme privilege to have you, and extremely, I just would like to say thank you. Thanking you, a lot of thank you to sparing your valuable time with us, with our audience, to connect with us, to share a lot, and to answer a lot of questions to our audience. Thank you very much.
If Aishwarya was with me, Aishwary Chauhan Pratap Singh was with me, I would have kept your head here, hugged you so much, and kept my hand on your head, and then said, "Love you so much."
Thank you so much.
This is a book available on internet. You can download it.
Yeah.
All my books are freely available on my website. This says my philosophy: grow like a tree and fall like a river. Every one of us can do much better. Don't stop. Keep learning every moment. I love you because you are a good learner who listen to most of, and you remember, once you miss a bus, you get lot of buses. Once you get into a bus, you miss lot of buses. So great philosophies.
That's all the fact.
Yeah. Thank you. God bless you. See you sometime soon. Your parents are so much blessed because a person like you is taken birth with them. So your parents must be proud of you. So my regards.
Thank you very much. Your words really means a lot.
My regards, love. Where are you actually, Aishwary Chauhan?
I am currently settled in Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah.
The city of Asan.
I
I think you may know.
I know, but I keep saying your Madhya Pradesh will have always hunger, but when your Uttar Pradesh has hunger, you get lot of knowledge. Madhya Pradesh has got hunger, you get lot of food.
Definitely. I am.
So thank you,
Uh,
love you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. If I ever get a chance to have you another time, then you are my one of the first priority I will accept.
Any point of time, you don't have to wait. Just a WhatsApp message for anyone. For just on a
Sure,
WhatsApp message, I am with anyone in this world. That's my guarantee.
sure.
That's my guarantee.
If you if you ever visit to Gwalior, please just do call me. I would like to meet you anytime, whenever. And if
Definitely.
you
Definitely, we will
if you
keep.
have no plan, then do plan to visit Gwalior.
We will. We
We are
will.
having a lot of
We will make.
yeah.
We will make some
Please
visits. Yeah.
do visit and be with me.
Sure.
Thank you very much for joining me. Thank
God
you.
bless. God bless. Pranams. Many children will ask me for some doubts. Then I will say I will send my Gmeet, and then we meet every day. I do that. For last 600 days, I have uploaded more than 2000 videos.
Oh,
Almost average 2.
that's really
Yesterday I uploaded 6 videos. Today morning I uploaded 1. Every day without a break for last 600 700 days.
that's really amazing.